Original Street.
How you doing tonight? Thank you for my low vibes. Joey. Today I'm doing nothing. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want my peace of mind. Today is made of mantras and high vibrations and long baths and all stuff and laughter. Tell me something that you know. I feel it when I'm waiting for the sun to glow on my skin like cocoa butter shake butter, baby. Again, 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 again. Feminine and beautiful. I relax my mind into the sky, watching clouds fly by. For lifetimes to come, lifetimes to go. I don't wanna do nothing today. Oh yeah, did I say I not do nothing today? You can back up from my energy. Today, I not do nothing today. Traveling when I take my spirit to the close. I'm never coming down. Nah, I'm flown. I wanna be my everything, my everything. Today I'm doing nothing. I don't wanna hear nothing. Oh, yeah. 'Cause today is filled with mantras and principles and long baths and oils on my skin. Again, 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 again. Again, 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 again. Again, 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 again. Again, again, again,
Yeah, Somana. Like Somana.
Somana?
Somana, yeah.
Somana. Alright, bet. So we finna get started then. I just wanted to like I said before, just have you on and really highlight what you're doing as an artist and just talk and just like see where your head's been at, what's been going on, what kind of steps you're trying to take further, and yeah, kind of just go from there for real. I mean, we really finna get into like this conversation and everything, so I really appreciate you even taking the chance to come on here and really just your willingness, you know, because not a lot of people would do that for an upcoming podcaster slash platform like myself. You
No,
know?
I mean, like, no, why not? I met you before in person, so, like, well, I mean, why not? You know, that tomorrow's never promised.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, there's no harm that comes from um, networking and, you know, intertwining with others. So, of course. Thank you for asking me. Honestly, this is cool.
Yeah, anytime, for real. I'm here to support and just do whatever I can. to help you get to the levels you're trying to be at for real. But
Okay.
yeah, so actually going back to when we first met, I know we met at a photo shoot, but how'd you hear about that? Like, what was the process like for you in terms of even like getting to that point? Because that I feel like
Um,
that was a great opportunity, you know, because like it was kind of like students and intertwining with like the real life world, if that makes sense. So how did,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Um, I believe her name is Kayla. I believe, I forget what her media name was. Started with a K. I believe her name is Kayla, and she messaged me. Um, she had blonde dreads, like blonde twisty dreads.
oh yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I'm yeah. I'm not the best with names. I just know like the persons and their what they did and how they, you know. I'm gonna say it's Kayla. But she had messaged me and told me that that was an opportunity if I wanted to do that. I was like, sure, no, why not? Like, why not do that? Which I was actually kind of, I felt kind of vulnerable just because, like, my hair. And I was feeling subconscious about that. So I'm glad that I didn't get into the fear part of myself and got to link with all you guys. And Jaden, um, yeah, I mean, that's how that really happened, honestly. I think I went to work that day because I worked at Olive Garden, and then I came off.
Really? Okay. That's what's
Yeah,
up. Yeah, for real. That's what's up. Cause like,
yeah,
yeah, when I had pulled up too, I was very surprised to see like a different variety of people and like the energies was just right for that, in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah. But you said,
yeah.
what made you want to take that chance to really like be in the shoot? Was it for you personally, like kind of like to challenge yourself, or is it more to like increase my exposure as an artist?
Um, I wouldn't say exposure as an artist because I feel very differently about like seeing myself as an like I'm an artist, but like sometimes also like I'm on this path, and I'm like sometimes I think things come to you, and I think sometimes you just have to just accept them and see where it goes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
not necessarily like more people to view me because sometimes that makes me uncomfortable, and I don't know. I never done. I've done photos and stuff like that before, but I was like, oh, it's for a magazine. Um, okay, like why not? Like why not? That's honestly been my response to a lot of stuff. It's like why not? Because what's the opposite? It's like not doing it, and then you'll be at home like, that could have been a good day. You could have met some cool friends, or you never know who you like meet along the way. So
yeah,
I think that was my reasoning for actually doing it, and I could have stayed at work, and you know what I mean, and that would have been putting my energy towards something that was in the end not going to fulfill my soul.
100. I felt that
So
for real.
yeah.
Yeah. But back to what you said earlier, is like viewership or people viewing you, why does that feel uncomfortable? Like,
I would say because it's like you're opening yourself up, like you're allowing people into spaces of yourself that you worked a lot to find like by yourself. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And so like you don't really owe anybody. It's a privilege to allow people to like see yourself. That's how I
It
view
is.
life.
It is.
And I also think like at the same time you have to share what you've been given and what you learned because that's how we all grow as um, a beingness. So I guess you would say it's balance of that. But yeah, I would think like maybe not say exposure. I would just say like just showing some of my because showing just because I changed so much,
Yeah,
like
just
I
different
changed,
sides.
yeah, like we changed so much over time, so it's like the unknown. The
Yeah,
unknown can be scary.
it is. But I feel like you accept the unknown and you kind of just go with it and roll with it and let it transform into like what it needs to be.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it forces itself. Like the
Yeah.
universe will be like, either you do it, or I'm gonna make you do it
Yeah.
because I need you to finish your job. Like everyone, I need you to finish your job. Like,
Mhm. I
yeah.
feel that. So when was there a time, recently, past, present, that you felt some form of resistance to change? Like, how did you teach yourself to allow transformation to happen?
Mm, I like that question. How did I teach myself to allow transformation to happen? Uh, I don't even know. Like, I mean, I do a lot of psychedelics.
Okay.
So I have a lot of herb medicines.
Mhm.
So that definitely like makes me see myself in like my most raw form. Um, a lot of crying in the mirror, a lot of like affirmations, and then a lot of like seeing the beauty of um, like the outcome of what could be. And so only way to know what could be is to allow it. And then when you like, hit this pedestal or you hit this like moment and you're like, wow, I allowed this to happen. So then I can allow something else to happen. And then eventually it's just like this constant state of, acceptance, ups and downs, but like you're always allowing your spirit to like flow. And like that's taken so much time. It's taken so much healing and it's still, healing never ends. It's a life journey, a lifetime thing. So but the person I am at this moment is so different from even that moment from the at that photo shoot,
Yeah.
like a complete 360. So,
How would you describe that transformation then from back then to now? What's changed, do you feel like?
um, fear, like, and now, or maybe okay, fear of acceptance, I should say. That's what's changed. Like now, it's more or less, no matter what, I know that I accept myself, and I accept there's parts that what I mean that I don't show, the parts that I do show, and not being afraid of allowing your power to be seen and allowing your power to be as strong as it needs to be, because that used to be a huge part because I never wanted to like um, quote unquote overshadow anyone or like step on anyone's toes because of like traumas and childhood things, and because that was not an accepted thing. So that took so long to figure out that that was something that was hindering me. And once I realized that, I was like, whoa, like stepping into your power actually does a reverse effect. It actually,
It's
it,
healing.
either you step into it or you don't, you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
hiding in the shadows forever gets you nowhere and it does not grow you. So I want to grow. I don't want to be like, I don't want my tree to like not be able to get water. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
leaves need to get bigger so it can get sunlight.
Right.
So
Air, water.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for real. Like I'm so serious. Like
Yeah.
no, like
Nah, cause
so yeah,
I feel like it sounds like you were like kind of like suffocating. You felt like you couldn't really get air, breathe. Like
yeah.
really
It
take a
was
deep
that.
breath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. It's an interesting time. I mean, even now, these times are always interesting, but now it's different, and now it's like when you have your eye to the sky, you have your eye to, when you're connected. That's what you say. I got more connected. I got more grounded. I got more rooted. I've seen more. I've, felt more. So I got more of a base to go back to if anything starts to get rocky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
100.
gotta tear it down, Larry.
Yeah, for real. You definitely gotta let stuff fall apart so you can rebuild it back better.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt when I actually changed my name, because I was so attached to, I didn't realize how attached I was to a name, because I thought I was letting that name define kind of like who I was. But through that, I realized I was trying to build something that I never felt like I had. So I feel
Mm.
like, yeah, So if anything, I was putting out product, getting results, but how
Giving
can
your
you?
results.
Yeah, but they weren't exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was gonna ask, how do you feel like those changes and those transformations play into the work you put out now or have put out? Like when you go back to listen to your old music to now, can you actually like see and feel those changes?
Yeah, of course. Like, what's everybody say? She's like, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my stuff. Like, yes, like I hear it when I listen to my old music. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what was going on around that time, and I know exactly how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly, like, and I used to be afraid to hear my old music because I was like, ugh, but like now, like, no, like, honey, that was your ground, that was your startup. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you got to accept all around. You can't just do bits and pieces. That's honestly how I felt about like how like now when I and being accepted and being called she and being called, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
for a moment, I was like I didn't feel like I deserved. Okay, for instance, if I were to put it in a sense of like love, like I didn't feel like if a guy was genuinely talking to me, I didn't feel like I deserved that because I felt like I was um, hiding something. But it was like no, like you are exactly who you are. So
Yeah.
what exactly are you? What do you? You keep telling your soul this, and that's what you're gonna keep attracting in your life. And so that flip from the old music to now, where I'm actually like, yeah, I'm she, which is something that I've always felt. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you know, facing my family with that, and facing friends, and like.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a.
How did you, if you don't mind me asking, but how did you maneuver through that? Because I felt like that's not something that takes a year, or it could take a year. It could take some time. So like, how did you really maneuver through that, trying to get your family to understand who you are as a person?
Um, well, I mean, I guess I would say that still kind of happening now. I would say,
Okay.
but at some point too, it's kind of like I realize that I love them no matter what. Like I love them because I know that this is still the experiences that I have now are experiences that I chose for my soul before I incarnated here.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I can't. I don't need them to really. I really used to want them to see me completely in that aspect, but then I realized that sometimes people can only understand you as much as they understand themselves.
Yeah.
And so once I understand that, I'm like, huh. Well, then I mean, I can't even force this on you. I can just accept it what it is and keep it going. Like not to say that they don't love me. Like
No, not
they
at
see
all.
me. They see every bit of me, and they know exactly. But sometimes it's difficult for people to they don't do psychedelics. They don't do the things that I talk about are things from ancestral things and things from roots, and that requires some digging, and not everyone is willing to actually go and do that work and go deeper and see. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like that's the purpose of us being here is like to help others to see, and eventually they will come around to it. And if they don't this lifetime, they will the next and the next. So this maneuvering is still a continuous thing, but like my spirit speaks most of the time when I go into rooms, and I get respected in that sense because that's
Yeah.
all I'm going to accept. So,
Yeah.
so
100.
yeah, that's that.
And that's the only thing you should accept for real, because like either whether you believe it or not, you're part of a bigger movement, you know. What you're doing is really for humanity. So like it's great to see you do what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. I'm kind of curious though, because you say you didn't like or you didn't enjoy listening to your own music when you first started. So how did you like build yourself up to even do that? Because you know, audio, listening to yourself talk, listening to yourself sing, or just listening to your own voice in general, is like it can be cringy sometimes.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so cringy sometimes.
Yeah, so it's like, how did you build yourself up to do that? Because you
I
really
mean,
got to sit yourself down and actually like, it is like, why do I sound like that?
yes. Oh my gosh. Like, um, I don't know. Like, I just knowing that like that's your old self. Like that's a younger self. That's a other version of you that was trying to speak, and so they deserve it too. Like, you can't sit here and not like it. Like, how you gonna not like it and expect others to like relate to it? You know what I mean?
That's
Like
facts.
no, listen to it and feel it, and then listen to yourself now and feel that too, and just accept the growth. Like I don't know. I just feel like you just sometimes you just do it. Like
You do, yeah.
you just do it. I mean, there's still some things I'm like, no, no, that's done. That's a done deal. Like, why did I do that? But
Hmm.
it's just good to know that you were actually like striving for something, even if it's something that you didn't like. So it's like, no matter what, I love that person, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that person continued. So
Yeah, I can understand that. That's actually a great way to put it because it's almost like another form of showing yourself love and compassion
yeah,
and appreciation rather.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the real question is when did you start like indulging in like psychedelics? Cuz I feel like, you know, cuz you know, we hear many different stories, some good, some bad, but I feel like overall there's been great responses to the usage of psychedelics in order to like find parts of yourself that you didn't think were there, and I feel like it's helped you a lot as a person. So kind of describe like what psychedelics has helped you with and why you kind of use them as a person.
Okay. Okay. So, I like to think of like psychedelics, specifically shrooms,
Okay.
as like the spirit medicine. Because if you think about like the first thing in a sense that was vegetation on Earth was like fungi, and so like
Mm-hmm.
even if like a tree is being attacked and there's mushrooms around it, they'll send like a signal that says like drop sap, on
Right.
the insects that are like eating at it or whatever. And so to me that represents intelligence. And so I'm trying to think like how I started with it. Me and a friend just came across someone who had them, and we took them, and I think it was the feeling that I got from it. It was the sudden flow of like emotion, stuff that I didn't feel before. Like um, I guess it would say it took me out of the reality, quote unquote, that I was viewing as
Right.
my reality, and put me into um,
Like an alternate
my
dimension.
yeah, like ultimate dimension, yeah, like, and it also it was connecting me back to like my past, like my DNA, it's like my ancestors were speaking through it, and they do speak through psychedelics, and that's one thing that they can't take away, which is why like shrooms and stuff has been illegal because they know that it brings people back to self, and Like in
Uh,
a sense, it just makes me look at like it made me look at monetary things or like material things. Not to say it's not nice, cool to have nice things, but it's like let's say we were to go to Kroger and it's like you see all this food and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even work for any of this. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I have no idea where any of these ingredients came from. I didn't even have to like chop down things. And I guess you could say your ancestors worked so you didn't have to do that, but it's like,
right.
no, I just like it created this state of laziness. And that's what the psychedelics show was like all the areas in your life that don't have earth, don't have like that ground, that heaviness, because it's like whether we like it or not, when we are like working towards things, when we fix like our own foods and stuff like that, like that's investing in your temple.
Yeah,
And so it
it
was just
is.
showing me all these. I won't even say thoughts. Like it was just showing me all of these
Like,
where I got lost at.
yeah, faults.
Yeah, like it's just crazy to think that like even animals eat them. So that's why I'm like, it's just a
Oh wow,
powerful, like it's a powerful thing when you think about it. Like,
I would agree.
yeah. Well, have you done psychedelics?
I would agree. Yeah. I've I wouldn't call myself a huge like psychedelic user, but I have microdosed twice. So I'm kind of getting my feet a little wet into that world, but so far both experiences have been great. Um, Mainly because I use it really to, or at the times I did do it, it was for an experience rather looking, instead of looking for like a meaning. But if I were to do it again, it sounds like I would have to do it in order, or do it next time I take it, do it to kind of look for a meaning, or like search for it, or kind of just let it, or just let it come to
Yeah,
the surface. I think I just gotta let it come to the surface rather.
yeah. Honestly, like you can ask a question and then go into your shroom trip and you come out with the answer. I think that alone is, I don't know, like it's just,
It's
I,
just something you gotta experience, it sounds like.
it is like it's
Yeah.
something that like it really does let you know that there's more. It just helps you see more to reality and your world. You're like, wow, this is not it. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is not it. I don't have to just be okay with okay.
No,
I can
you
deal with
don't.
this world. You're like, nah. I got more. I'm just traveling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what am I learning now? What is my spirit learning now? And yeah.
Yeah. So have you been working on any new music lately, or is it kind of just kind of like for leisure, like, or are you kind of just letting your time, just letting time take its course, you know?
I would like to say I'm letting time take its course, but I'm also working on things like, um, I'm working on like producing my own stuff again. Like, I don't know, I want it to be deeper,
Mm-hmm.
and that alone does take experience, and that takes, you know, um, I guess you can say time. But I don't believe time exists. So,
No,
but if we're putting it in this context, yes, time, living, fun, um, you know.
no, time doesn't exist. It's definitely a paradox. If anything, we we created the time, so like
Yeah,
it's man-made. It's a man-made construct.
it surely is. Like, because I think about, okay, so if we were to say, I'll see you on the next full moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like how much you would get done in that sense, because you wouldn't even be thinking about like, oh, how many days is the next full moon? You would just be like, like you would just be working and you would forget,
Mm-hmm.
and you would kind of create things that I
Pro-
don't know.
Probably feel way more fulfilling. I kind of like
Yeah,
that. The next full moon, like you allow yourself a form of clarity. I think a form of like less stress,
Yeah,
less pressure to produce, because
exactly.
yeah,
And it's still like keeping that connectivity with, like, you know,
yeah, and it'll force
source,
you,
everything.
yeah, it'll force you to be in the moment, or rather
Yeah,
not force you, but it'll allow you to be in the moment, rather.
exactly.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is wild.
Yeah.
Life is wild. Life
Yeah.
is wild.
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah,
But how you been doing today? Like, how's your day today? Good? Or
yeah, my day's great. I've been working on my hair, and
okay.
I did laundry, and I'm going out of town in a couple of days, so it's gonna be, just getting things together. I've been working,
Yeah.
writing, reading, just being in my moments, especially like all the shifts and all this, it's an ascension, you know what I mean? It's like a conscious shift, like
Mhm.
the way that we view life itself. And like that's how you can even see like social media in a sense. It's like a bootleg version of the universe. You
It
know what I
is.
mean? Like you have you literally put your thoughts on there, but it's like it's crazy to think that it's a bunch of people's collective thoughts in a sense. So it's like a big hive mind.
It is.
So I don't know, like, but I prefer to be in life in person.
Yeah. And in
So
like your own mind.
yeah, exactly. Because that's where the real stuff actually happens. That's where like my best moments happen, the stuff that nobody gets to see, and I like it that way. I like my I
Like
like my space.
right. Yeah. No, there's
Like
nothing
back
like
up,
that.
get out of my space, okay?
100. 100.
Yes. So, but no, I've been good. I've been changing. You know,
I feel that.
it's yeah. What about
Likewise.
you? How have you been?
I've been pretty well myself. Like you said, I kind of just been reading. I've been trying to allow myself to be in the moment more, rather. Um, I think that's why it kind of took me so long to kind of even get back into my groove of trying to produce a podcast, because I knew when I first started I was going to be young, inexperienced, and that's really, I feel like that was kind of the only things that I was kind of focusing on. So I was like, I'm gonna let myself kind of grow a little bit before I even try to dive back into this, because
Yeah.
I feel like anything you put out into the world, and I feel like you can relate to this, you kind of just want it to be impactful, or at least allow what you put out to change someone's perspective about something, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, what's the point of sharing it if it doesn't? For one, if it's not really how you feel, it's not real, and for two, if it doesn't even have a meaning, if
yeah,
it's just for what you call it, gratification for yourself for that moment, and that doesn't
exactly.
last. Like it
No,
doesn't last with yourself.
no, it doesn't. And I'm happy you said that, because that's not what I was going through, but what I want to do with this is like make it as impactful as possible, you know, because I know
Yeah,
our time on this earth is limited, and with everything going on, just keeping it real, I'd rather work for myself than like work for somebody else.
yeah,
But like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. But
yeah.
that's really kind of where I've been at. I'm getting ready to, get back into the groove of school and stuff. But other than that, life, I cannot complain. I got people around me who care. Um,
Period.
yeah, like I'm eating, so it's like,
Period.
yeah, so like,
You got breath
yeah, exactly. Like
and you
I've
got
been,
shelter.
yeah, like,
It's like, what's to complain about?
yeah,
Like
for real.
everything else we can work on, but
Mhm.
yeah,
100%. But yeah, I just wanted to say, Thank you. And if you have any last words, you can go ahead and share. But other than that, this is kind of where I'm gonna let it be. Um,
I don't have any last words.
yeah.
I guess okay. Okay, last words will be. I don't know. I don't have any last words. That's my
Yeah.
last words.
No, you good. You good. I just want to say thank you again and allowing me some of your time, because obviously you're doing stuff and you're trying to stay sane. And I know it takes things for people to like, it takes things, I'm not trying to take you out of your element and out of your zone. So I just appreciate you
No,
for,
yeah, that was cool.
yeah,
I like your questions, like, and sometimes too, like, I don't believe anything by coincidence. So that's why I was like, it's cool. Like, even your questions that you ask, like, they help me to reflect. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, of course, thank you for having some good, great questions and not like surface level. I don't
yeah,
like surface level. Nothing anyone should like surface level. Like,
yeah.
you know, yeah,
I appreciate that. I
yeah.
really do.
And
Thank
I
you.
wish you a lot of blessings on this podcast. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be really great.
Yeah, likewise with your music and honestly just with the rest of your endeavors and kind of your current endeavors. And I really do
Yeah.
wish you safe travels on your trip because, there's a lot going on, but personally, I just really wish safe travels.
Thanks. Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
genuinely. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. I'm going skating, so that's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna be cool.
Facts.
Um,
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, bye.
All right, deuces. You have a good night. Stay safe and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right.